Mina woke up early in the morning, her small hands brushing against the soft blanket as sunlight poured through the window. The town outside was alive with movement. Small hover vehicles zipped along the clean streets, and merchants in bright uniforms were opening their stalls in the marketplace. Mina loved mornings like this. Everything felt fresh and anything could happen. She pulled on her shoes and grabbed a small bag. Today, her father, Amir, had promised to take her to the marketplace to buy some fresh fruits and vegetables. Mina liked walking there with him because she could explore all the little corners of the town. The air smelled of baked bread, sweet fruits, and sometimes a hint of electricity from the hovering carts. As they reached the marketplace, Mina's eyes sparkled. There were stalls filled with colorful fruits, boxes of shiny vegetables, and even little machines that could help clean the kitchen. Children ran around laughing as their parents shopped, but Mina's attention was drawn to a quiet corner of the market that most people ignored. In that corner, under a small faded canopy, sat a dog. The dog was thin, its fur dusty and tangled, and its tail barely wagged. Its eyes were large and glowing faintly, a strange golden color that seemed to follow Mina as she walked closer. A small sign hung around its neck. It read, "Dog for sale, $1." Mina stopped in front of the stall. "Father, look at this dog," she said, tugging gently at Amir's sleeve. Amir looked down, frowning slightly. "It is very thin, Mina. Are you sure?" "Yes," Mina said, her eyes shining. She crouched to get closer to the dog. The dog looked at her, tilting its head slightly. Its golden eyes seemed to recognize her. Mina felt a warmth in her heart, a connection she could not explain. The merchant, a tall man with a kind but tired face, noticed her interest. You like this one?" he asked. "It has been here for a long time. No one wants it." "People think it is useless," Mina shook her head. "It is not useless. I want to buy it." "Please, Father," Amir sighed.
"It is only $1, Mina, but are you ready to take care of it?"
"I am ready," she said firmly. "I will take care of it. I promise," Amir nodded. "Very well then. $1 it is." Mina's heart jumped. She quickly handed over the coin and lifted the dog into her arms. The dog's fur was rough and its ribs could be felt through its skin, but it wagged its tail slightly. Mina whispered, "And don't worry. I will take care of you." As they walked home, the dog rested its head on Mina's shoulder. She could feel it trembling a little, but there was also a calmness about it. Sometimes it seemed to look around the town as if it understood things no one else could. Mina named it Lumo because its eyes shone like little lights in the morning sun. At home, Mina gave Lumo a warm bath. The water washed away the dust and dirt, and Lumo shook water everywhere, making Mina laugh. After the bath, she dried Lumo with a soft towel and gave it a bowl of food. Lumo sniffed the food carefully before eating, and then it licked Mina's hand gently. Mina smiled. She felt that they were becoming friends already. Over the next few days, Mina spent all her free time with Lumo. She noticed that Lumo was not an ordinary dog. When she spoke, Lumo tilted its head and seemed to understand her words. When she left small puzzles for it to solve, Lumo could figure them out faster than any other dog she had seen. Sometimes, when Mina was sad, Lumo would nuzzle her and make her feel better. One afternoon, Mina took Lumo to the small park near their home. Children were playing and other dogs ran freely. Lumo did not bark or chase them like the other dogs. Instead, it moved carefully, watching everything. Mina threw a small ball and Lumo ran to catch it with incredible speed. The children stared. "Wow, your dog is amazing," said a boy named Arif. "How does it run so fast?" Mina smiled. "I think he is special," she said. Lumo returned the ball and nudged it towards Mina. That evening, Mina's father asked her to help with chores. Mina cleaned the small garden outside their house, and Lumo followed her, picking up small sticks and dropping them near the compost pile. It seemed like Lumo understood exactly what Mina wanted. Mina started thinking about why the dog had been abandoned. It was clearly intelligent and kind. Why would someone leave such a dog in the marketplace for only $1? She felt a mix of sadness and determination. She decided that she would not only care for Lumo, but also find out why it had been alone for so long. One night, Mina woke up to a soft glow in her room. Lumo was sitting by the window, staring outside. Mina followed its gaze and saw the stars twinkling unusually bright. She noticed Lumo's eyes reflecting the starlight in a strange way, almost like it was responding to the energy in the sky. "Mina," she whispered, Do you see that too? Lumo barked softly as if agreeing. Mina realized that this dog was unlike any she had ever known. There was a mystery surrounding Lumo, something bigger than just being a pet. She could feel it in her heart, a sense that their lives were about to change. The next morning, Mina and Lumo went to the marketplace again. People stared as Lumo walked calmly beside her. Some recognized the dog from before and were surprised to see it looking healthier and brighter. Mina felt proud. She whispered to Lumo, "See, we are going to show everyone that you are amazing." At school, Mina told her friends about Lumo. They were amazed. Some doubted her at first, but when Lumo solved a small puzzle she had brought, their eyes widened. Lumo picked up tiny objects, opened a small locked box, and even helped find a lost toy. Children crowded around, asking if they could play with Lumo. Mina realized that Lumo was not just her friend. It could help people in ways no one had imagined. Her father watched quietly from the side, smiling but also feeling a little worried. Such a special dog might attract attention from the wrong people. That night, Mina lay in bed thinking about the adventures she and Lumo could have. She felt a strong connection to the dog, stronger than anything she had ever felt. Lumo lay at the foot of her bed, its eyes glowing softly in the dark. Mina whispered, "We are a team now. I will protect you and you will protect me." Lumo barked softly, almost like it understood every word. Mina closed her eyes, knowing that their story was only beginning. Something extraordinary had entered her life, and she could feel that the world around her was about to notice. The next day, Mina noticed Lumo acting strangely again. It seemed to be following an invisible path through the town, stopping at certain places and staring at them. Mina followed, curious. Lumo led her to an old abandoned building at the edge of town. Its door was slightly open and the air smelled of metal and old books. Mina hesitated. "Should we go in?" she asked. Lumo barked softly, urging her forward. Inside, Mina found strange papers scattered on the floor. Diagrams of machines, animals, and energy patterns covered the walls. Mina realized that this was not just any building. It was a laboratory. Her heart raced. Could this be connected to Lumo? Why was it abandoned? She looked down at the dog, who seemed calm yet alert. Mina realized that Lumo had led her here for a reason. She felt a thrill of excitement and a little fear. This discovery might change everything she knew about her small town and her new friend. Mina decided that she would return tomorrow with more courage. For now, she took Lumo home, feeling a sense of wonder. The dog licked her hand gently as if to say, "We are ready for this together." That night, Mina could not sleep. Her mind was full of questions about Lumo, the strange building and the glowing eyes that had drawn her in from the marketplace. She knew that something special had begun, and she felt lucky to be part of it. As the moon shone on the quiet town, Mina held Lumo close. A bond had formed, stronger than any magic or machine. She whispered, "We will face it together, Lumo. Whatever comes, we will face it together." And in the stillness of the night, Lumo's golden eyes glowed softly, ready for the adventure that lay ahead. The next morning, Mina woke up with excitement. Her mind was still full of questions about the old laboratory at the edge of town. She could not stop thinking about Lumo, the dog who had led her there. She knew that today she had to explore more, but first she needed to understand her new friend better. Mina knelt beside Lumo's bed, brushing its soft fur. "Good morning, Lumo," she whispered. The dog wagged its tail slowly and looked up at her with golden eyes that seemed full of understanding. Mina smiled. She felt that Lumo was more than just a pet. It was like a companion who could think and feel almost like a human. After breakfast, Mina decided to take Lumo to the park. She wanted to see how it behaved outside the house. Children were playing on the swings and other dogs ran freely. When Mina let Lumo off its leash, it did not run wildly like the other dogs. Instead, it moved carefully, sniffing the ground and watching the people around. Mina noticed something strange. When a child dropped a toy, Lumo immediately ran over, picked it up, and returned it to the child. The child laughed and patted Lumo on the head. Another time, when a small cat was trapped on a low branch, Lumo carefully helped it down without hurting it. Mina watched in awe. She had never seen a dog behave this way. On their way home, Mina asked Lumo to follow a small puzzle she had made. She placed a few small boxes on the ground, hiding a piece of bread inside one. Lumo sniffed the boxes carefully and pushed aside the correct one to get the bread. Mina clapped her hands. You are amazing, Lumo, she said. That evening, Mina's father, Amir, noticed her excitement. You seem very happy with the dog, he said. But I see you are also thinking a lot. I found an old laboratory yesterday, father, Mina said. I think it is connected to Lumo. There were papers and diagrams. Lumo led me there. I do not understand it yet, but I feel it is important. Amir looked concerned. Be careful, Mina. Sometimes old places can be dangerous. You should not go alone. I will be careful, Mina promised. But I need to know more about Lumo. It is not like any other dog. Over the next few days, Mina spent most of her time with Lumo. She noticed that it could understand her words perfectly. When she asked it to fetch small items, it did so without hesitation. When she asked it to wait or stay, it obeyed immediately. More than that, Lumo seemed to sense her emotions. When Mina was sad or worried, Lumo stayed close, nuzzling her hand and licking her cheek gently. When she was happy, it jumped and wagged its tail excitedly. Mina's friends started visiting to see Lumo. They were amazed by its abilities. How does it know what you want? Asked Arif. It is like it can read your mind, Mina laughed. I do not know. I think it just understands me. But maybe it can understand more than that. Sometimes it seems to know things before I even say them. One afternoon, Mina decided to test Lumo further. She placed several small objects in the garden, some hidden under leaves or small rocks. She asked Lumo to find a specific object, a small metallic ball. Lumo sniffed carefully and went straight to the ball, picking it up and bringing it back. Mina clapped her hands in delight. You are incredible, Lumo. You really are special. That evening, Mina noticed Lumo behaving strangely again. It stood by the window, staring outside, its golden eyes reflecting the last rays of the sun. Mina followed its gaze and saw a soft glow coming from the edge of town, near the abandoned laboratory. Her heart beat faster. Lumo was trying to show her something. Do you want to go there again? Mina asked softly. Lumo barked once and wagged its tail. Mina knew she had to follow it. The next morning, Mina prepared a small bag with water and some food. She and Lumo walked quickly toward the edge of town. As they approached the laboratory, Lumo's ears twitched and it moved cautiously. Mina could feel the excitement and a little fear. The building looked old and worn, but the sense of mystery was strong. Inside, the laboratory was quiet, filled with dust and old equipment. Mina walked slowly, looking at the scattered papers and broken machines. Lumo moved ahead carefully, sniffing the floor and stopping at certain spots. Mina followed, realizing that the dog was guiding her to something important. In the center of the room, Mina found a small device with blinking lights. It looked like a machine used to measure energy. Lumo sat beside it, staring at the lights. Mina picked up one of the papers nearby. It had diagrams of animals, energy patterns, and notes in careful handwriting. Mina realized that someone had been trying to create a special animal, one that could help humans in dangerous situations. Mina, she whispered to herself. Lumo is one of these animals. That is why it is so special. As she read more, Mina understood that Lumo had abilities far beyond a normal dog. It could sense danger, solve problems, and respond to human emotions. It had been created to help humans survive and protect them. Mina's eyes widened. No wonder the dog had been abandoned. The scientists might have left when their project failed, but Lumo had survived on its own. Mina hugged Lumo gently. You are amazing, she said. I will take care of you, and together we will discover everything about you. Lumo licked her face softly as if agreeing. Over the next week, Mina and Lumo started testing its abilities in small ways. Mina set up obstacles and puzzles in the house and garden. Lumo solved them all with ease. Sometimes it seemed to predict where objects would fall, or how to move quickly without touching anything fragile. Mina realized that Lumo's intelligence was extraordinary, far beyond what she had ever seen. One day, Mina's friend Arif came over. I want to see if your dog can do something amazing, he said. Mina smiled and set up a small puzzle for Lumo. Lumo moved quickly, solving it in a few seconds. Arif's eyes widened. This is incredible, he said. It is like Lumo knows everything before it happens. Mina laughed. I think it does. I think Lumo can sense things we cannot. That night, Mina lay in bed, thinking about the laboratory and the notes she had found. She realized that Lumo was not just a pet or even a helper. It was a guardian, created to protect humans and guide them. Mina felt proud to have such a friend. But she also felt a sense of responsibility. She had to keep Lumo safe and help it discover its purpose. The following morning, Mina noticed something unusual. Lumo was standing at the window again, its eyes fixed on the horizon. Mina followed its gaze and saw a small group of birds flying in a strange pattern. Lumo barked softly and ran toward the garden. Mina followed and noticed that the birds were circling a spot near the old laboratory. "Lumo, what is it?" Mina asked. Lumo barked again and ran toward the spot. Mina ran after it and found a small metallic object partially buried in the ground. She picked it up and realized it was a piece of equipment from the laboratory. Lumo nudged her hand as if telling her to be careful. Mina smiled. "You always know where to look, Lumo. You're amazing." From that day on, Mina and Lumo became inseparable. They explored the town together, helping people in small ways. Lumo guided Mina to lost items, warned her of small dangers, and even helped her friends solve problems. Mina realized that the dog's abilities were growing stronger every day. She also began to understand the bond they shared. Lumo was not just a pet. It was a friend, a companion, and a guide. Mina felt lucky to have such a friend. She knew that together they could face anything. As the sun set over the town, Mina and Lumo sat by the window, watching the sky change colors. Mina whispered, "We are a team, Lumo. We will discover everything together." Lumo barked softly, resting its head on her lap. Mina felt a sense of peace and excitement. She knew that their adventure was only beginning, and that something extraordinary awaited them in the days to come. The next morning, Mina woke up with a mixture of excitement and curiosity. She could feel that today would be important. Lumo, her golden-eyed companion, was already waiting by the door, tail wagging and eyes focused on her. Mina knew that the dog wanted to return to the abandoned laboratory. She had felt it yesterday when Lumo had guided her to the buried object near the edge of town. "Ready, Lumo?" Mina asked, adjusting her small bag. Lumo barked softly and ran ahead as if leading the way. Mina followed, her heart beating fast. The streets were quiet and the sun cast long shadows across the clean sidewalks. She felt a strange thrill, as if she were about to uncover a secret that had been hidden for years. When they reached the laboratory, Mina noticed something different. The door was slightly open more than yesterday and a soft glow came from inside. Lumo paused at the entrance, sniffing the air carefully. Mina stepped forward, her small hands trembling with excitement. The building smelled of old metal and books. Dust floated in the sunlight that streamed through broken windows. Inside, Mina followed Lumo through the narrow hallway. The dog moved carefully, avoiding broken equipment and sharp pieces of glass. Mina's eyes widened as she looked at the walls. Strange diagrams covered them, showing patterns of energy and shapes of animals that seemed unusual and complex. She realized that the laboratory had been a place for important work, perhaps even experiments that were meant to change the world. Lumo stopped in the center of the room, staring at a small console with blinking lights. Mina walked closer. The console looked old but functional. She noticed buttons and screens showing symbols she did not understand. Lumo sat beside it, looking at Mina, almost as if asking her to pay attention. Mina picked up a set of papers from the floor. The handwriting was careful and precise, describing experiments with animals designed to help humans. One of the papers had a sketch of a dog with glowing eyes and a note that read, "Project Guardian, designed to detect danger, solve problems, and assist humans in critical situations. Must be trained carefully and treated with care." Her heart raced. Lumo was one of these guardian animals. No wonder it could solve puzzles so quickly and understand Mina's words. It had been created for a special purpose, and somehow it had survived alone for years. Mina felt a mixture of awe and responsibility. She knew she had to protect Lumo and help it discover its full abilities. As she examined the console, Lumo suddenly barked and ran to a small door in the corner. Mina followed and found a hidden room. Inside, shelves were lined with small devices and tools. There were notebooks filled with diagrams and charts. Mina realized that this room had been the control center for the experiments. Someone had worked here carefully, documenting every detail about Lumo's kind. Mina sat down with the notebooks, reading slowly. She learned that Lumo's abilities were far beyond a normal dog. It could sense danger before it happened, respond to human emotions, and even solve problems that required thinking and strategy. It was designed to assist humans in critical situations, to be a protector and a guide. Lumo watched her closely, its golden eyes glowing softly. Mina felt a deep connection with the dog. She understood that Lumo trusted her and wanted her to discover its secret. She reached out and patted its head. "You are amazing, Lumo," she whispered. "I will help you, and together we will learn everything about you." Over the next few days, Mina returned to the laboratory every morning. She brought small tools, notebooks, and food for Lumo. Together they explored every corner of the building. Mina noticed that Lumo's abilities were growing stronger. It could detect small vibrations in the floor, sense hidden objects, and even recognize patterns in the diagrams that Mina did not understand. One afternoon, Mina decided to test Lumo in a different way. She hid a small mechanical device in the laboratory and asked Lumo to find it. Lumo sniffed carefully and quickly located the device, nudging it with its nose. Mina clapped her hands in delight. "You are incredible, Lumo. I think you are smarter than any dog I have ever known." As they explored, Mina discovered a small screen on the console that displayed maps of the town. Lines and symbols appeared, showing areas that were dangerous or needed attention. Mina realized that the original scientists had used Lumo to monitor the town and protect the people. She looked at Lumo and smiled. "You can do so much more than I imagined," she said. Lumo barked softly as if agreeing. That evening, Mina returned home with Lumo. She told her father about the discoveries. Amir listened carefully, his face serious but filled with pride. "Mina, this is extraordinary," he said. "You have found something very special. But you must be careful. Not everyone may understand or respect Lumo's abilities." "I will be careful, father," Mina promised. "I only want to help people and protect Lumo. I know it is special, and I want to discover everything about it." Over the next week, Mina trained with Lumo. She created small exercises to test its intelligence and abilities. Lumo learned quickly, following her instructions perfectly. It could find hidden objects, solve simple puzzles, and even respond to changes in the environment that Mina could not notice. Mina realized that Lumo was not only intelligent, but also deeply loyal. One day, while exploring the laboratory, Mina found a notebook that explained how Lumo could sense energy patterns in the environment. It described how the dog could detect danger, locate lost objects, and even guide humans in difficult situations. Mina's eyes widened. This was exactly what she had seen with the glowing lights and the buried object outside. Lumo had abilities that were extraordinary. Excited, Mina decided to test Lumo's energy sensing. She created a small obstacle course in the laboratory, hiding objects and creating challenges that required careful thinking. Lumo navigated the course perfectly, avoiding obstacles and finding the hidden items. Mina clapped her hands and hugged Lumo. "You are amazing," she said. "I cannot believe how smart you are." As days passed, Mina noticed that Lumo began to react to subtle changes in the environment. If a small object fell in the street outside, Lumo would bark or run to it before anyone else noticed. If someone approached the laboratory quietly, Lumo would alert Mina. Mina realized that the dog could sense things that humans could not. It was like having a guardian watching over her and the town. One evening, Mina and Lumo were at the laboratory when the sun set. The sky turned shades of pink and orange. Lumo stood by the window, staring outside with intense focus. Mina watched and noticed that the dog's eyes glowed brighter as the colors of the sunset changed. She realized that Lumo was reacting to energy in the environment, sensing patterns that humans could not see. "Mina," she whispered to herself, "you are extraordinary, but you are also part of something bigger." Lumo barked softly and nudged her hand as if encouraging her to explore more. Mina felt a deep sense of connection with the dog. She knew that together, they could uncover the full potential of Lumo's abilities. The next morning, Mina decided to take Lumo into the town. She wanted to see if the dog could help in real situations. As they walked through the streets, Mina noticed Lumo reacting to small changes. When a child dropped a toy in a narrow alley, Lumo immediately retrieved it. When a cat got stuck on a high ledge, Lumo guided Mina to help it safely down. People started noticing the dog's abilities and praised Mina for having such a clever companion. Mina felt proud, but she also knew that Lumo's abilities were just beginning to show. She could sense that there were greater things waiting for them. The laboratory, the notebooks, and Lumo's extraordinary powers were all pieces of a puzzle that she was only starting to understand. That night, Mina sat by the window with Lumo. The stars were shining brightly and the town was quiet. She whispered, We have discovered so much already, Lumo. But I feel there is more. Something bigger is waiting for us. Lumo rested its head on her lap, golden eyes glowing softly. Mina felt a mixture of excitement and determination. She knew that the adventure was far from over, and that together they would uncover secrets that could change their town forever. Mina hugged Lumo gently. "We will face everything together," she said. "You and I, Lumo, together." Lumo barked softly as if agreeing. Mina closed her eyes, feeling a sense of peace and anticipation. She knew that the next days would bring challenges, discoveries, and a deeper understanding of the extraordinary dog she had found for only $1. The morning air was crisp and bright as Mina woke up. She stretched and looked at Lumo, who was already standing by the door, tail wagging, golden eyes alert. Mina knew today would be important. Over the past weeks, she had discovered more about Lumo's abilities, and she felt certain that the dog could do amazing things. Today, she decided they would test those abilities in the town itself. After a quick breakfast, Mina and Lumo stepped outside. The streets were bustling with people going about their daily routines. Children ran with small hover toys, merchants arranged their stalls, and the smell of fresh bread and sweet fruit filled the air. Mina held Lumo's leash tightly, though she knew the dog was more capable than any leash could control. As they walked toward the town square, Mina noticed something unusual. A group of construction workers was trying to lift a large crate, but it was stuck. Mina felt a tug in her heart, and Lumo sensed it too. The dog tugged at her sleeve and barked softly, urging her forward. "Come on, Lumo, let's see what we can do," Mina said. She approached the workers and asked, "Can I help?" The workers looked puzzled. "You are just a little girl," one said. "How can you help with this crate?" Mina smiled. "I have a helper," she said, nodding toward Lumo. The dog jumped forward, careful and alert. It sniffed around the crate, then nudged a lever at just the right angle. The crate moved easily, surprising everyone. The workers stepped back, mouths open. "This dog, it knows what to do," one worker exclaimed. Mina hugged Lumo. "See? You are amazing," she whispered. Lumo barked softly, its tail wagging. The day went on, and Mina and Lumo helped in small ways. They guided children safely across the busy streets, helped an elderly woman carry her basket, and even found a lost puppy hiding near the market. Lumo seemed to sense when someone needed help, and Mina followed its lead, feeling proud and amazed at her friend's abilities. But as the afternoon approached, the sky darkened suddenly. Thick clouds gathered and the wind began to blow stronger. The town's residents looked up in worry. "A storm is coming," one merchant shouted. People started hurrying to secure their stalls and gather their belongings. Mina's heart raced. She could feel the energy in the air, and Lumo's ears twitched. The dog barked repeatedly, moving toward the town square. Mina followed, holding its leash tightly. She realized that Lumo sensed something more than just the storm. There was danger hidden within it. As the rain began to fall heavy and fast, Mina saw the first signs of trouble. A small bridge near the town square was starting to flood. Water rushed quickly, threatening to sweep away anything in its path. Mina's father, Amir, appeared at the square, his face serious. "Mina, this is dangerous. You must stay safe," he shouted over the wind. "I know, father," Mina said, "but Lumo knows what to do. We can help." Lumo barked and ran toward the bridge. Mina followed carefully. She could see that several children and a few adults were stranded on the far side. The water was rising fast and panic was beginning to spread. Mina felt her heart pounding, but she trusted Lumo completely. The dog jumped onto a narrow ledge along the bridge, moving carefully. It barked and guided the children, signaling them to step onto safer spots. Mina helped where she could, holding hands and giving directions. Lumo seemed to know exactly which steps were safe and which were dangerous. Slowly but surely, the children reached safety. "Thank you," one of the parents shouted, hugging their child. Mina smiled, feeling proud, but she knew the danger was not over. The water continued to rise and the wind howled louder. Lumo barked again, this time running toward a small group of adults who were trapped near a broken stall. The dog nudged objects and guided them toward a safe path. Mina followed, helping lift fallen branches and pointing out hazards. Together they moved quickly, and soon everyone was safe. By now the townspeople had gathered, watching in awe. They saw a little girl and her golden-eyed dog leading people to safety, navigating the storm with confidence and care. Many whispered among themselves, "How can a dog do this?" one said. And the girl, "She is brave and smart." Mina felt a mixture of pride and responsibility. She knew that Lumo's abilities were extraordinary, and that together they could protect the town in ways no one had imagined. She also realized that the storm was far from ordinary. Something about it seemed different, almost like it was testing them. As the rain poured, Mina noticed another problem. The main water channel that ran through the town was overflowing. Water was rushing toward the lower streets, threatening homes and shops. Mina knew she had to act quickly. Lumo barked and ran ahead, leading her to a control valve that she had seen earlier near the old energy plant. Mina and Lumo worked together to turn the valves, redirecting the water to a safe channel. The operation was difficult and the water was strong, but Lumo guided her movements precisely. Mina felt the dog's intelligence and intuition, realizing that it was not just helping but thinking strategically. The water began to flow safely and the streets were saved from flooding. By evening, the storm started to weaken. Rain turned into light drizzle and the wind calmed. The townspeople emerged from their homes, clapping and cheering for Mina and Lumo. The little girl and her dog had saved many lives and prevented serious damage to the town. People came forward to thank them, offering food, blankets, and words of admiration. Mina felt overwhelmed but happy. She hugged Lumo tightly. "We did it, Lumo," she whispered. The dog wagged its tail and rested its head on her shoulder. Mina realized that Lumo was more than a pet or even a companion. It was a protector, a hero, and a friend who had changed the lives of many people. That night, Mina's father sat beside her. "I am proud of you, Mina," he said. "You and Lumo have done something remarkable today. People will remember this for a long time." Mina smiled. "It was all because of Lumo," she said. "I only followed its lead. It knew what to do." Amir nodded. "Then you must continue to take care of it. This dog is special and you have a responsibility. Not everyone will understand, but you know its worth." Mina felt a deep sense of determination. She realized that Lumo's abilities were growing stronger, and that there were still mysteries to uncover. The storm had shown her that Lumo was capable of extraordinary things, but it also reminded her that the world could be unpredictable and sometimes dangerous. Over the next few days, Mina and Lumo continued helping the town in smaller ways. They guided people safely across busy streets, found lost items, and assisted in minor repairs. Children followed them around, fascinated by Lumo's intelligence and Mina's courage. Adults started to respect and trust them, recognizing that a little girl and her extraordinary dog could make a real difference. Mina also returned to the laboratory each day, studying the notes and diagrams. She discovered more about the experiments that created Lumo, and began thinking about how to use its abilities to help even more people. She realized that Lumo was not only intelligent but also deeply loyal and brave. The bond between them had grown stronger with each challenge they faced together. One evening, Mina sat by the window, watching the calm streets after the storm. Lumo lay beside her, golden eyes glowing softly in the fading light. Mina whispered, "We did something amazing today, Lumo. But I feel that this is just the beginning. There is more we can do, and we will." The dog rested its head on her lap as if understanding every word. Mina knew that together they could face any challenge. The storm had tested their courage and teamwork, but it had also revealed the true potential of her extraordinary friend. Mina felt a sense of pride, excitement, and responsibility. She knew that the next days would bring new adventures, new challenges, and new opportunities to show the world what a little girl and her golden-eyed dog could achieve. As the night deepened, Mina held Lumo close, feeling the warmth and trust between them. She whispered softly, "No matter what comes, we will face it together. You and I, Lumo. Together." The dog barked softly, golden eyes glowing with quiet strength. Mina closed her eyes, ready for whatever lay ahead, knowing that their journey was far from over. The morning sun shone brightly over the town, casting warm light on the streets that had recently recovered from the storm. Mina woke up with a sense of purpose. She knew that today would be important. Lumo, her golden-eyed companion, was already waiting by the door, alert and ready. Mina smiled. Their journey together had shown her the power of courage, trust, and friendship. Today she wanted to take their bond to the next level and make a real difference for the entire town. After breakfast, Mina and Lumo set out for the town square. People were beginning to gather, curious to see the girl and her extraordinary dog. Mina had spent the past week preparing small plans to help the town become safer and more organized after the storm. Lumo walked beside her, ears twitching, eyes scanning everything carefully. Mina knew that the dog could sense dangers and opportunities that humans could not. Their first stop was the old water channel, which had caused trouble during the storm. Mina had studied the flow and realized that with small adjustments, the water could be safely directed even during heavy rainfall. Lumo guided her to the correct valves and levers, its golden eyes alert to every shift in the environment. Mina turned the handles and Lumo barked gently when the water started flowing as planned. A small crowd had gathered to watch. "How does she know what to do?" one man whispered. "And that dog?" "It is incredible." Mina smiled but did not answer. She focused on the task at hand. Lumo barked softly, nudging her hand when she hesitated. Together they made the water flow safely through the channels, preventing flooding and damage to nearby homes. The crowd clapped quietly, impressed by the teamwork of the little girl and her extraordinary dog. Next, Mina and Lumo visited the marketplace. The storm had caused minor damage to stalls and some goods had been lost. Mina had a plan to help restore order. Lumo ran ahead, noticing scattered items and guiding vendors to where they belonged. Mina helped with the organization, placing boxes, moving supplies, and offering encouragement. Lumo retrieved tools and small items quickly, making the work much easier. Children followed them around, fascinated by the dog's abilities. "Wow, it knows exactly what to do," said a little girl named Zara. "It is like magic," Mina laughed. "It is not magic. It is Lumo, and it helps me because we are a team." Lumo barked softly, tail wagging as if agreeing. As they continued through the town, Mina noticed an elderly man struggling to carry a heavy basket. Lumo ran to the man and nudged the basket toward Mina. Together they helped the man, who smiled gratefully. "You two are amazing," he said. "I have never seen a dog like this and a girl who is so brave." Mina felt proud but also thoughtful. She realized that Lumo's abilities were not only extraordinary but also a responsibility. She had to protect the dog and help it use its skills to benefit everyone. Lumo had survived alone for years, and now it was part of her life, guiding her, protecting her, and helping the town. Later in the day, Mina led Lumo to the old laboratory at the edge of town. She wanted to continue studying the notebooks and devices to learn more about Lumo's abilities. As they entered, Lumo ran to a small console and barked softly. Mina understood. The dog was alerting her to something important. She examined the console carefully and noticed patterns of energy similar to what she had seen before. Lumo barked again, nudging a small device on the table. Mina picked it up and realized it was a tool that could help measure environmental energy. She had learned from the notebooks that Lumo could sense this energy, and now she could use it to understand how the dog reacted to its surroundings. Mina spent the afternoon testing Lumo with the device. The dog moved through small courses, responding to changes in energy and predicting small obstacles. Mina realized that Lumo's intelligence was far beyond any ordinary animal. It could sense danger, guide humans, and respond to situations with remarkable accuracy. She felt proud and amazed. As the sun began to set, Mina decided it was time to return to the town. She wanted to show everyone how extraordinary Lumo really was and how much they could contribute to the community together. She led the dog through the streets and people noticed immediately. Children ran to greet them and adults watched with curiosity and admiration. Mina gathered a small group in the town square. "This is Lumo," she said, smiling. "It is a very special dog, and it can help all of us if we work together. We can protect our town, keep each other safe, and even help animals and people who need guidance." The townspeople listened carefully. Some were skeptical at first, but when Lumo demonstrated its abilities, finding hidden items, sensing small changes in the environment, and guiding children safely, their doubts disappeared. They clapped and cheered, amazed by the bond between the little girl and her golden-eyed companion. Over the next few weeks, Mina and Lumo worked with the townspeople to create a safer and more organized community. They helped repair broken structures, guided children safely through busy streets, and even assisted in minor emergencies. Lumo's intelligence and intuition became well known, and people began to respect and admire the little dog who had been abandoned for just $1. Mina also shared her knowledge of the laboratory and the notebooks. She explained how Lumo had been created as a guardian animal, designed to help humans in critical situations. People were amazed. They realized that kindness and care could uncover wonders that money or appearances could not. The town decided to build a small sanctuary for extraordinary animals, inspired by Lumo. Mina helped plan it, and Lumo guided her to areas that were safe and suitable for different creatures. The sanctuary became a place where abandoned animals could be cared for, and where people could learn about compassion and responsibility. One morning, a group of children arrived at the sanctuary with their families. Mina showed them Lumo's abilities, explaining how it could sense danger, help solve problems, and protect humans. The children were fascinated. "I want to help animals like Lumo," said a boy named Rafi. "I want to be brave like Mina, too." Mina smiled. "You can," she said. "All you need is kindness, courage, and care. Lumo and I will guide you." Lumo barked softly, tail wagging as if agreeing. As days turned into weeks, Mina and Lumo's story spread beyond the town. People from nearby areas came to see the extraordinary dog and the little girl, who had brought hope and protection to their community. Scientists even visited, curious to study Lumo's abilities in a safe and respectful way. Mina welcomed them carefully, always ensuring that Lumo's well-being came first. Through all of this, Mina never forgot the connection she shared with Lumo. The dog had chosen her when it was abandoned, and she had promised to protect it. Together, they had discovered a purpose greater than themselves. They had saved lives, inspired the town, and created a legacy of courage, kindness, and intelligence. One evening, Mina sat by the window with Lumo resting at her feet. The sun set in shades of gold and pink, and the town was quiet and safe. Mina whispered softly, "We have done so much, Lumo, but I feel there is more we can do. We can help more people and animals. We can make the world a better place together." Lumo lifted its head and looked at her, golden eyes shining with trust and understanding. Mina hugged the dog gently. "We are a team," she said, "always. You and I, Lumo, always." The town had learned an important lesson through Mina and Lumo, that even the smallest, most overlooked beings could make a huge difference. A little girl's courage and a dog's extraordinary abilities had saved lives, inspired the community, and left a lasting impact. People learned to value kindness, observation, and compassion above wealth or appearances. From that day forward, Mina and Lumo continued their adventures. They explored the town, guided the children, helped the animals, and ensured that the town was safe and cared for. Every challenge they faced brought them closer together, and every success inspired the people around them. Mina knew that their journey would never truly end. There would always be new challenges, new opportunities, and new mysteries to uncover, but she also knew that with Lumo by her side, she could face anything, and Lumo, loyal and intelligent, would always be there, guiding her, protecting her, and sharing in every adventure. As night fell, Mina looked at the stars and held Lumo close. She whispered, "We have changed the town, Lumo, but we will continue to help, to protect, and to inspire. Together we are unstoppable." Lumo barked softly, golden eyes glowing in the moonlight. Mina smiled, feeling hope, courage, and excitement for the future. And in the quiet of the night, the little girl and her extraordinary dog rested, ready for whatever the next day would bring, knowing that their bond and their mission would leave a legacy for generations to come.